Force on Force features the largest and strongest outdoor military organization in the country. These are the men and women who make it possible to enjoy the freedom to hunt and fish. It is with great pride that we bring you Force on Force podcast, coming to you from the Force on Force Talk.
Hey, welcome to the Force on Force podcast. I'm your host, Sean Darby. We're coming to you from the Force on Force Talk. We're mobile this week again. We're at the Texas Trophy Hunters Extravaganza here in San Antonio. We're actually coming to you from the booth. We got Thomas Leonard, Andy Woods here, Force on Force champion, and we got Patrick Appling.
Back again.
Andy was on with us last week. He had a good episode last week talking about urban hunting, and we talked about the 6.5 Creedmoor and the misconceptions. We had kind of talked about that a little bit before, but we did a bigger deep dive, I think, last week on it. But we thought we'd kind of do one from the booth this week. Hey, I don't know if you guys noticed this morning, but Patrick showed up without his bow. Did you guys notice that?
Oh, yeah. I noticed that. I asked about it.
Weren't you supposed to shoot in 3D competition here?
We got one more day of this, competition and everything, right?
Oh. I thought it was just today.
Yeah, I was expecting it today, but
Chickened out?
It's checking out. I see what Sean's trying to do. Sean's trying to talk here and everything else about me checking it out, but
I think, does he have to go home and practice one more night?
Maybe.
Trying to go to getting beat?
Yeah, just asking the questions. I was ready today. I didn't need another day.
I didn't even see your bow here.
It's right there underneath the table.
Oh, underneath the table. Got it all hid away then.
It's not hidden. I just have it right there. That's where it's supposed to be. It's ready to go. We pull it out.
Apparently, it's always battle ready.
It is.
Apparently, huh?
It is. It's battle ready. I've never dry fired my bow, and that's it.
Wow. We're getting personal on today's podcast.
Noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
Well, yeah, he said before we started this, we winged it, make it pretty good, don't we? So I think this is the first time we've had Thomas on the podcast, isn't it?
Yes, sir. First time.
Oh yeah. So he's a virgin on the podcast. So this ought to be good. So this is the last Texas Trophy Hunter show, and we had a pretty good day today, and we actually raffled off a e-bike. That was a pretty good deal. Winner's coming in to get it tomorrow. We did that live on Facebook and Instagram. Andy did a good job with that promotion, always pushing that out and then helping what we do with all our nonprofits, whether it's Folds of Honor or the stuff we do with the Army Bass Angler Foundation. So some good stuff there. So really, really, really appreciate everybody here that supported us at the Texas Trophy Hunter show. And I'll just bring up that Folds of Honor's got a gala coming up. You remember what the date was on that, Patrick? I think it's like the 11th or no, it's September 13th.
September 13th, yeah.
I should have known that because everything with Folds of Honor has to do with a significant number of 13. So that's the 13 folds of the flag, but it is be coming up. Great opportunity if you want to get a table or get a just a slot at a table for that event, or they're gonna have some great auction items.
You can also sponsor a table there, Sean.
Yeah, no.
Sponsor table, raffle stuff off.
Yeah, we're gonna
silent auction.
We got some stuff that we're gonna be giving to the Folds of Honor Gala as part of that. So that's gonna be some stuff that's going there. Ironically, we're actually sitting here at the our hawk table here, so there might be some hawk optics as part of that. So as we do all that, so kind of want to mention that to our guys at Folds of Honor and all the great things that we do with those guys, because it's a pretty unique deal to kind of talk through with those guys. So yeah.
You're fine.
You're good. We got people asking if we're on a podcast, and really, yeah, we're good. Talk to us all you want to. So we enjoy. We've talked to fans today. Everything like that is good. So yeah. Go ahead, Andy.
You mentioned that, right? So this is not an advertisement plug by any means. This is a point that I want to make. For those of us listening that are part of the Army Bass Anglers organization, overall, when we ask task members and Coalition Force folks to come out and help with these shows, you get to meet the most awesome and interesting stories and people. Like it's crazy. Like we just had Aaron and Kathy come out of the booth, 2 Air Force veterans. We found out that Kathy is a music writer, music producer.
Yeah.
And she showed me some of her work. And it's just, it's the stories that we're getting from these veterans that show up here.
Yeah, she wrote those downrange, man. She wrote most of her music downrange, but she was deployed.
It's amazing hearing her story, right? she like her Sweet C was her handle. I pulled up her Instagram and stuff. Pulled up a website. Let's check it out. It's like some really good stuff on there. Her husband Aaron, Air Force vet, ended up working civil service. Did a little bit some reserve time. Was a cop. Now they're here in San Antonio, just living the dream. Right?
Yeah, so, he's adopting a DoD dog on Tuesday.
Oh yeah,
What I'm talking about with the DoD adoption program.
It's like that whole interaction with them. It was just there's so much. So it was just so cool, right? Getting that, like, you don't get to just meet these kind of people just randomly off the street. Like they saw our booth, they saw our logos, they come by and introduce themselves, start asking questions before they even said that they were veterans.
Right.
Kind of got an idea of what we were about. And I gave them this is our story. This is what we do. Oh, okay, cool. By the way, we're Air Force veterans. And then next thing you know, we're getting them signed up to be part of the organization.
Yeah, I think that when we really talk about that, and I've said this for years, and I think, Thomas, you were kind of around in the early days. I would say we used to have a lot more task force that came and were part. I mean, that's how I kind of started in this. When you said,
oh yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, when I was task force, I drove from Fort Hood to Shreveport. They do the when they had the fishing there. It was the
Bassmaster Classic.
The Classic.
Yeah,
and that's when I started, and I was just out of a whim, just go because of the camaraderie, the group, the people you meet. Just that's what kept me going and staying, and with this organization. It's just the people,
One of the veterans that was here earlier talking to us ended up signing up.
Yeah.
That was exactly what he said he was looking for.
Yeah.
That camaraderie, that missing piece, missing link from when they were in service, like-minded individuals, outdoorsmen, outdoor women, looking for, a venue to vent, hang out. And he even said, he goes, yeah, we told him about the shows, TV shows to do. He goes, I'm not really interested in being on camera. I was like, well, lucky for you, every time we do a show, we have support squad.
Yeah.
And support staff in the background making that happen. And it's like the shows, when we film the shows, those are such a great time all around, both in front of and behind the cameras. And, we told them about hanging out at these booths and these shows. And that guy was at our booth for over an hour, just hanging out, talking to us, getting to know us.
Well, Andy, you talk about the shows and everything, but also it's nationwide. When I went up there to Chicago, reached out, had some downtime, got on base camp, reached out, hey, does anybody know anybody fishing around here? And me and the guy linked up and fished in the pond right there in the city. Just got together. I didn't even know him from anybody. Just got on base camp where we all communicate, where we all get to reach out to people across the nation. It don't have to be here in Texas. It doesn't have to be in Kentucky. It could be anywhere.
Yeah. I think that's key. And the reason I say that, because we get asked a lot about what we do and everything. And I think that camaraderie, if we take away the stuff we do with the nonprofits, great. I mean, I love that stuff. And we get to fish and hunt and when we have the shows and all that. But I always say, like, that connection we have, that camaraderie, because that's the thing that everybody misses when they get out of the service, is that connection you have with those like-minded individuals. And that's why, like I say, it's a way for people to get involved and, like, to say, hey, I always ask how people can get involved. And, like, yeah, come to an event. We put those out on the base camp, and we, those events are out there, and you can be a part. You can work them. Like, we always appreciate anybody come and help out, and you get to hang out with us. I mean, and interesting story. I mean, I actually had Harold Mont from Wise Eye. We talked about it. He has a family member that works there with him that's a former service member, and he talks about this. He always asks us, and he's like, when are you guys going to do another filming thing? I want to bring him to be a part of it. And I told him this. I talked to him. I said, just bring him to Houston or San Antonio this weekend. We'll put him up in the Airbnb, because Harold talks about how that's just something that he really thinks that he really misses a lot, is that camaraderie. He goes, none of the rest of us are military. We can't really talk to him, that connection he had when we, that he had, and he really sees that that's a big part of it. That's the piece that everybody kind of misses.
There's a lot of stuff that civilians don't understand, that only we've seen, we've lived, we've shared the same dirt downrange. And that's one thing about Harold's family right there. They don't know how to connect to certain stories and stuff.
Yeah.
And we can.
Well, it's just like me busting Patrick's balls. Civilians, you can't do that, man.
Man, there is a lot of trash talking.
Dude, there's a lot of trash. The trash talk, just trust me, they bust my balls just as much.
Not all of us wear a G-string and a saddle, hanging from a tree in Kentucky. Some of us go out there and kill an 8-foot brown bear, interior brown bear at 50 yards on the ground with a bow, mind you, in Black Rapids, Alaska. Oh, wait a minute, -30 on the Haul Road, dropping 5 caribou in November 18th every year.
How many times today have you heard -30?
I heard
that
he's a fair weather hunter. You didn't know?
I'm on your side.
Weather.
I'm on your side.
I know, man. You started this too, man. I got stuff for you too. Don't worry about it.
I'm on your side.
Y'all unleash the beast.
Just the Patrick Sean battle. I'm Team Patrick. Otherwise, yeah, it's fair game. Now, I mentioned to the young lady earlier about my every single time I've seen Patrick for the last 3 years, it's always, "Hey man, did you get that message from your little brother?" What do you mean? Your little brother called. He wants his shirt back. Patrick wears tiny shirts.
I do not. I do not.
So that's what I'm talking about right there. I mean, you can't get by with doing that kind of stuff anywhere else. I mean, it's just like
you're getting called to HR.
Oh yeah,
yeah, we would.
Yeah. We get so many HR complaints. Like that's why, like that's the relief that everybody misses. Like they talk about, like you can't talk that way at a normal job when you get out of the military, that piece that you miss.
No,
like
you can't. That's for sure.
And so I think that's just because, you just learn to have that thicker skin when you're in the military. And it's just the joke. We don't take anything personally when we're doing all that, so it's all that. So that's kind of a fun deal when we do all that, when we're going around and doing these shows. Just the Airbnb, all the things that kind of come with that. That was part of it. Hey, we didn't get to see. What'd you do with the access last night? I didn't see it in the.
I didn't bring it today.
Yeah, but I didn't see it in the house last night.
He put it in the bedroom.
I put it in the room so the dogs wouldn't.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it.
The dogs kind of freaked out over it when they came in and saw it on the chair.
Yeah,
okay.
You were still in the truck on the phone. I had them sitting in the chair in the living room, and I moved them into the bedroom so they wouldn't bother me.
So when they came in, it kind of freaked out on.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
There were 2 deer heads sitting in the living room watching TV at the Airbnb, and of course it was empty when we left to go to work here. So that was a shocker for the service hogs.
I will say this show seems like there's a little bit more traffic than the first 2 shows that we've been to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely there was more than Houston,
Houston was slow this year.
Yeah.
That was right before school season. So everybody's out, doing school shopping and stuff like that. We were getting dove season's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Right after that, it's deer season and everything else down here in Texas. So
yeah, it was kind of, so I was happy to kind of see what was going on with what we're doing here. Just the flow of traffic, introducing people to a lot of different, our partners, whether it's Hawk or just talking, Wise Eye or Frog Talks or anything like that. Like, I will say this, I wish I had more bow bags from the Vision bow bags from Frog Talks from the Inside brand, because we sold out last week in Dallas, Fort Worth, and that's always a big seller any show we kind of go to across the country.
Wow, with archery
last weekend
season.
in Fort Worth?
Yeah.
We weren't in Dallas, we were in Fort Worth. We were downtown Fort Worth. We couldn't get any less Dallas.
He's been in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, bringing that bourbon a little too much.
Hey.
Dallas is one big silly.
Last week it was the same thing. He even on the podcast, he said, "We're here in Dallas, Fort Worth."
Careful.
We were in Fort Worth.
Fort Worth people knows the Fort Worth. Dallas people knows it's Dallas.
Hey, it was worse is when Brent kept doing it. Brent was doing it worse than I was, and he was doing it just to make him mad.
He was saying it almost like it was one word.
Yeah, he was calling it one word.
You need to take Sean down to the stockyards down there in Fort Worth.
I've been to stockyards.
Then you should know where Fort Worth is different than Dallas.
It's all the same, man.
Be careful.
It's all the same.
Yeah, Austin and San Antonio are the same.
Ooh.
Same.
Ooh.
I would not say that.
I would not say that.
All right.
Yeah, not. I mean, come on.
Well, maybe Austin and Georgetown.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's
There
more.
you go.
That's more. In a more of a parallel.
Well, it's just like over where I'm at in Houston. Everyone says they're from Houston, even though they're like from Conroe, and then they're from
Kingwood.
Oh, I'm
Cleveland.
from Houston.
Yeah. What? Cut and shoot up there.
The problem is you can't tell where one ends and the other one begins. That's the why you don't know which
I
one.
told him last week there are literally 3 cities between Dallas and Fort Worth, like their own cities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of nice urban stuff though there in Fort Worth.
Okay. Yes, there is. a lot of urban entertainment.
Yes.
Time killing.
Yeah. So
Some expensive hobbies.
we did stay real close to the Navy base there. That was kind of cool to like.
Yeah, it was like we were 5 minutes away from where the real work happens in the military.
Real workout. The fact that there's a Navy base. Wait. The fact that there's a Navy base in the middle of Fort Worth.
Yep.
North Texas, there's a Navy base.
There's a lake. We got a lake.
Lake.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
The south border of Lake Worth is the north border of NAS JRB Fort Worth.
It's like you ever flew into Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen so many? I can't even say it on the air. You ever seen so many seamen in one place? Yeah.
Look at Andy.
I was one of those 29 years ago now.
Yeah.
Walking through the airport, my dress blues, just chest couldn't get any bigger. People buying you drinks left and right. I was
one
18.
Little ribbon.
Yeah, 18 years old. No, that was before they even gave us the sea service or the National Defense Service. Like back then, they weren't even given that until you actually did something.
See, this is what I'm talking about right here. This is
straight boot. I smelled like the Navy Exchange uniform shop.
Oh my
like walking through the airport, ready to go to my first command. Just like I am a hero. Let's get it. Barely made it to my first flight because every time I turn around, here, buy you a beer. And I was 18 years and 3 months old.
Wow.
People just handing left and right. Here, have another one. Here, have another one. Here, you want a shot? I'm like, yeah.
Showed up to your first duty station drunk.
He thought he was a hero before he ever did anything.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
Thank you for your service. You are welcome for my service. Yeah.
Been in service a whole 3 months.
Yep, 3 months. 3 months on payroll.
So yeah, that's like they do. You would think they would do like in like San Diego or something like that.
It used to be. So we had basic training in Orlando, San Diego, and Chicago. Chicago. And over the years, the BRAC got a hold of those, just like it did a lot of the other bases. As a matter of fact, that's how NAS JRB Fort Worth became a Navy base. It was an Air Force base.
Right.
You got MA basic training down here at Lackland.
Yeah. Oh, at CC's Pizza the other night, we ran into 6 Navy folks eating at CC's Pizza.
Oh,
really? So I chatted with them for a while. They were Navy corpsmen.
You missed it, man. He was so happy he like outnumbered us, and like they were doing a little secret Navy handshake.
Yeah, I'm out,
covered by seamen everywhere.
The guy was like, "You guys definitely look like y'all are veterans or retired."
He said it,
and I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, y'all are Navy too." I was like, "Well, I'm Navy. They're Army." Like, okay, like yeah, I get that.
I got it. It's a brotherhood, man. All y'all seamen in one place, just covered. Why's your face get
surrounded by seamen?
The guy did go. He goes, "Y'all guys look like." The first thing he said, "Y'all look like y'all are retired," or he said, "Y'all got like veteran, but y'all look like military, but y'all look like y'all are retired or something." Some of the way he said,
"Can't wash that and look off."
No, you can't.
Yeah. So yeah, that was
I don't know if I can say. Like,
Andy, I heard the other day, man.
Might get sent to HR for this.
Y'all, the whole APFT for the Navy, Air Force, Army changed across the board.
I heard it's getting harder. Finally.
Yeah, they're going to make one standard for everybody, and it's going to include pull-ups.
I'm glad.
Across the board.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Air Force is crying, man.
Yeah,
every day when I'm out there working them dogs, I see Air Force is crying, man, out there running.
Sure they are.
Oh yeah, I did hear that. I didn't know it was going on to cry, but I heard the Air Force. I did hear the Air Force was crying because it was changed to the.
Did you see that at CC's the other day?
Oh, I didn't, man.
You see what?
Oh yeah, says? I did see that. I did see her with that thing on. Yeah,
veteran's wife on there.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. So there was this full-board colonel's wife at Fort Bragg, and she wore her husband's ring so much that she had her husband drive her. Not that her husband made her drive, but she made her husband drive her over to the subordinate battalion commanders' houses so that she could proceed to chew the battalion commanders' wives out.
Oh my God.
Interesting life choice.
Well, yes. No, so like we can all understand there's multiple wrongs that like transpired with this. Wrong number one was that the fact that the brigade commander actually participated willfully in driving his wife to this event, and they did it like multiple times because multiple battalions in a brigade, right? So, and then the fact that she did this was number two, like she was permanently banned from posts, lost her commissary privileges, Like, how would you like to know that your brigade, that as your brigade command, that's how you finished your military career? That like took place. I mean,
Burnt some bridges, huh?
yeah. I mean, I was like, that's talking about like think you wear you wear the rank of your spouse. I mean that.
So
nah.
I don't want to portray the wrong message right now, right?
Yeah.
I am the hardest fighting supporter of military spouses.
Yeah,
There's a
they
lot
do.
of stuff that we just absolutely cannot do
Right.
Without them.
without support on that
Yeah.
backside, right?
Yep.
Both male and female. Matter of fact, we had a couple here earlier.
Yeah.
He was the supportive spouse while the wife was the.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it goes both ways. It's not just a male-female thing. But I'm specifically referring to the one that comes through the front gate and demands that
you
the
salute
guard
her.
salutes them
Yeah.
because their spouse, husband or wife is an officer. And
No.
they're 100% civilian, never been affiliated other than
No.
being married to a service member, right? Like that. All right, come on now. Let's.
Right. Because here's
There's
the
a lot of respect due, but there's a line between the two.
So we get it, man.
Yeah.
Try have a lieutenant. All right, Air Force, Air Force. Ooh, this massive.
we're beating on the Air Force tonight.
I still get hot about this.
We need
man.
representation in the show
we,
for
we do,
everything.
we do. But anyway, a lieutenant's wife, lieutenant. I pulled her over. Do you know who my husband is? Lieutenant so and so. And I'm like, are you serious?
Oh, no.
And I'm wearing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. First class this time.
You'll call him so I can give him a ticket too.
Yeah, I'm
or
like,
what
are
we
you
doing?
serious? Here's your ticket, ma'am. Have a nice day. And I only written like 5 tickets in 21 years,
Right.
and that was one of them. It's like, good Lord.
Yeah, and you're 100% right, Andy. I think the key takeaway is that an E1 spouse is just as important as an E9 or a 05, 07's wife. They're all just equally as important, and they all maintain the same dignity and respect they do, and one's not any better than the other.
Yeah, I wish my wife was here for this conversation because she was an enlisted wife in an aviation unit, which you got warrant officers' wives,
Yeah, oh my
commissioned officers' wives. Then you got senior, all the way up to, brigade.
Yeah.
And yeah, they looked down on the enlisted wives when she was working as the FRG and the treasurer. And they're like, well, why are you the treasurer?
Because nobody else will step up and do it.
Yeah.
That should have been the reply, because nobody else will step up and do it. Huh?
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it was tough for her in that type of situation. So yeah, it's tough when they start wearing their husband's rank.
Yeah.
Very specific example how it happened to my wife and I. Well, it happened to my wife because of me. I made E6 quickly in my career. And then, so when I was up for my promotion to Chief Petty Officer to E7, I was more in the age bracket of the older junior enlisted people
Yeah.
than I was with the Chief Petty Officers that were already in the Chief's mess. So I got selected for Chief, and I kid you not, in the first week of the selection process, when I'm going through initiation, my wife received a phone call from one of the E9 spouses from the command telling her that, hey, we need to go have lunch so I can go over all the rules with you. And she's like, I'm sorry, the what's?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, you're a chief's wife now. So those previous friendships you had with them other, the lower enlisted, junior enlisted, you can't hang out with them anymore. She's like, I can do whatever I want. Thanks for calling. Best of luck to you.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's not how it works. You have to understand. She's like, no, you don't understand. I'm not in the Navy. Have a good day.
Yeah.
The nerve.
And I think, that's what I think.
That's not me hanging out with them. That's
No, but I think
you
that's
can't
what.
tell my wife who she can be friends with.
But I think that's what makes a spouse so important, because they are the conduit that keeps the vibe on what is going on throughout the command, throughout the lower enlisted. They're the ones who probably know more about the well-being of the families, which is the most important piece of being in the service. If they're not being able to do that, then that's why they're unrestricted to do that. And
Sean, it's like this, man. I mean, all the times we get deployed and stuff like that, when I was a platoon sergeant downrange, you got probably stuff that E1 has his wife back home, doesn't know the ins and outs about the military, doesn't know commissary, doesn't know other things. And you got, your spouse goes over there and takes them a sack of groceries or takes them out to show them, what to do, when to do, and how to do. Yeah.
I think that's where they got it confused. The hierarchy was supposed to be like, that's your job, is to take the person who doesn't know how to go to the commissary. It wasn't to act like you were better than everybody else. And that's the perfect example of it. So yeah, that's why that was that's so important. And I think that's where they messed it up, and you hit it right the nail on the head with that. And that's where they confused it, because that was the coach, teacher, mentor thing that was going on. That's what the senior spouses were supposed to be doing, that where we couldn't do that stuff where they can, and make, that's what makes a unit cohesive. Because if service members coming home at night and their spouse feels warm and fuzzy, then they are more productive when they go to work every day.
That peace in the house,
Yeah.
peace at home.
Yeah. And so then you have a more productive unit, because you have more families are getting along and doing a lot better and things like that. So the unit becomes, it's back to the good morals and disciplines, good order and discipline in a unit starts with, hey, how do we take care of families?
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's ironically, that's what we're kind of talking about in the podcast, but it is kind of true of that, because there's enough chaos we go on, but it goes back to spouses. And it's funny that we talk about how that kind of plays into it, because I think if I know somebody came up and tried to pull rank on my wife, and she'd be like, are you stupid?
Get that stuff out of here.
And she would never pull rank on somebody, because she's like the most humble person in the entire world. And like that just doesn't fit into her like personality anyways. Right. That's like, that just doesn't sit well.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's, misunderstood about that. So
You talk about unit cohesiveness with the family members and the wives and stuff, Sean, there's a lot of red tape, the senior levels, that you've seen, that I've seen, and I'm sure, Warrant Officer Woods over in the Navy has seen, cut through some stuff. But, especially taking care of, wives that, their husbands are downrange, and being that supportive character. One thing, and I speak on the MP world a lot, it's hard for us to procure funds, and especially in the canine world, if we have a dog that goes down.
yeah.
I can't use unit funds. I can't use military GOTWA funds or anything like that to put up a headstone or have some memorial for that, for that canine animal. And a lot of these spouses, with fundraisers and stuff like that, to have that for, that fallen soldier, what it is, to have a memorial for there in the kennel compound or something like that. So they can go outside the bounds of what our hands are tied for. I speak on Sergeant Williams a lot. He was a soldier of mine I lost in 2019, January 2nd. And, my wife at the time really stepped out and was supportive to his wife, his family, and did more than what I was capable of. You know? And I'm very respectful of that, and I'm very happy I had that support, within, my footprint.
Right. I think that's kind of unique. So a lot of good stuff. We love talking about that stuff and how it's kind of molded and shaped us. I think the important piece of that is always be humbled. I think anytime any leaders that you're not humbled and you think that you're superior to anybody else, and you talk down to people and at every level and all branches of the military. I think there's kind of a piece of that, because I always say this, like, and I know everybody will probably, I'm pretty sure I've said this on a podcast. So by the English language, like, what are you officially supposed to be known by, Andy? By like properly, like when you're introduced by or whatever, like.
Oh, I'm biting my tongue right now, Mr. Woods. I'm biting my tongue.
Where are you for? Like, well,
if you were being introduced,
ranking, right?
Yeah, if you were being introduced to be speak, they have to refer to you like grammatically. There's like a rule of thumb. The same reason, like, it's based on like the highest level of office you've ever held, right? That's the rule.
Yes.
That's the English language, right? So
Yes.
Okay.
So as a now retired commissioned officer, chief warrant officer, I would be introduced as Mr. If I was still in, they would refer to me as chief warrant officer.
Yeah. So like, and I say this because like now is the same as Patrick, sergeant first class retired, and Appling me is lieutenant colonel retired. Now I say that because this is the point that I try. The most honorable thing that I ever hear is not that. It's Captain D. Like I get
the restaurant.
Yeah, like because I know because I know that
Captain D.
Because I knew that was one of my, that's my guys. That's when I was
that's the term of endearment.
That's the term of the endearment that like
when you were a company commander.
When I was a company commander, and I don't get bent out of shape to hear my guys say that, because to me that's a badge of honor to be referred to as that, to be but there's a lot of people that'll get bent out of shape by that. And
it's at levels of endearment there, Sean, where, you're that company commander. You're right there with your troops and everything else. Just like when I was a platoon sergeant, that's the best closest I had to my guys. And people call me Sergeant App all the time.
Yeah.
When I was a first sergeant, it's at levels of separation right there.
Right.
You're not in the dirt with those guys all the time. You're in that leadership position. You're at that 3,000 foot mark looking down.
Yeah.
You're not there all the time. But when you're a company commander, you're right there with them. When you're a first sergeant, you're right there with them, and that level.
Yeah, I mean, I went through, when I was platoon sergeant, I went through 5 company commanders, and every single one of them told me the same thing. It's like, this is what they've always wanted. Company command is like the creme de la creme.
Doesn't get any better than that.
You're in the dirt with them, man.
Yeah.
And so, 5, so you're, I don't know, 8th to 10th commissioned officer I've heard that from is like.
And I say that because the people that I hear all the time that get bent out of shape, I'm retired Lieutenant Colonel so-and-so. Dude, you'll probably have to talk to me 10 minutes before I ever tell you what rank I retired at or whatever, because it doesn't bother me like whatsoever.
I was going to ask you this question, man. I mean, I work with 115 retired service members from all branches.
Right.
Okay. And a lot of them, all right, and I'm sure y'all seen this too, and I was going to ask you, a lot of them still wear their rank being retired.
Yes.
Yeah, that's annoying, because I'm like, look, man, I left out. I enjoy sometimes not being in charge.
Yeah. I mean, you're just one of the guys now, man. I can say what I want to, when I want to, how I want to, whatever.
Yeah, it's.
And then, some guys that make rank fast or whatever forget the ethics.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've really seen. You get retired, start for classes, the E8s, E9s that are coming to work acting like privates nowadays. Like they don't have to have work ethic anymore.
And that's why I asked that question, Andy, because that's just funny. Like, I don't know, like it goes to what you said about that. That's 100% why I feel that way. It's like, it's really like it seems like there was the same set of people that their spouses wore the rank, and then they still feel like they will.
Yeah, there's
a correlation between the two when they retire. And so like man, it's not good leaders. You don't have to be called by a title. That's like a good coach. You're still always going to call coach years later down the road. You're still always going to call. And that's funny. Like, I still call my battalion commander Lieutenant Colonel Larry. Like, it took me a long time to call him by his first name, even though you're the same.
Well, there was, I think he's still with the organization, but there was a guy that one of the pro staffers introduced me to in our organization a couple of years back. And he said, hey, this is John Doe. And then the guy's like, yeah, just call me what his rank was. And he retired over 10 years ago. And I said, yeah, I'm not doing that. No, no thanks.
It's funny because we do that.
Well, that's what everybody calls me. Like, yeah, you're not in active duty. No.
Well, we do that with Tagger.
Yeah.
Sorry, we all call him Sergeant Major.
We do that. He doesn't do that. That's him.
He doesn't ask us to.
This guy was like, just call him that. No,
that's one thing I got to talk to you last week is about how you present yourself. Tagger, he still presents himself as Sergeant Major Tagger, and it's a good it's a good nickname for him.
When you meet him, he'll be like, "I'm William Tagger." He doesn't say I'm Sergeant Major. He will say I'm William Tagger 100% of the time. He will say he's William Tagger.
Yep.
But everybody calls him Sergeant Major. Like it's funny because. But it's a term of endearment that people call him Sergeant Major because
he carries himself.
He carries him with he didn't earn. I got to word this right. He didn't earn it. The way he carries himself earns the people to call him that. He doesn't request it. Just the way he carries it, people do it that way.
We just do it out of just per respect because it's Sergeant Major Taggart. I mean, it's just
everybody kind of does it, but he doesn't. He's okay. He'll be like, I'm Bill. You watch him, he'll be like, I'm Bill. Just watch him, I'm Bill. So yeah, I mean. That's Andy's force and force partner. Andy's got a funny story. Like Andy not getting the net.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
I was fishing against Patrick in that that first round of 2020.
I wasn't there for that one.
Yeah, that's when y'all grew roots and stayed on the fence line the whole freaking
We were just talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Nobody else could fish there.
Well, no, there were other boats there. And it was wild because Steve and Marty were in a boat in the semifinal round, not against us. And they were in the same spot. And they put fish in the boat.
Yeah.
And they were, I kid you not, 20 yards away from us.
Yeah.
So
They were there first. We
Yeah.
backed in, got our spot. We were in fishing the same space of water,
Yeah.
and we were putting more fish in the boat than they were. And it all boiled down to the exact color of the lure we were using.
Yeah.
Andy, I got shot down that episode when we fished against each other, right?
Uh-huh.
I told my partner, I was like, hey, why don't we go 20 yards off of them and just drop anchor right there? Could you imagine the trash talk back and forth? I already had Sergeant Major rattled. He was already red in the face, man. I had him rattled. And just me and my partner, which is also my level of trash talking, having going at it, and you, oh, that'd have been awesome.
I need to go back and review that footage because in round 1, nobody was over. We went to that corner. We were the first boat over there. Nobody was in that entire corner.
Well, there were some in the morning. That's what throws it off. There's some.
So we fished in the afternoon.
That's what happened. Those guys were there.
I slept on the deck of his boat in the sun because I flew in from Italy like the night before.
Yeah.
But we went over there and there's nobody open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not a soul. And we fished and fished. And we stayed in that corner the whole time. We basically worked our way around that cove, settled in on the fence line. That's where we started putting fish in the boat and put in 19-something pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an hour plus before we got our first bite and then put in 19 in 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So we get back to Scenic 515, talk about our game plan for tomorrow. I was like, hey, what we're doing here? We're going back to the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the backup plan? There's no backup plan. We're going to the same spot. Okay, I'm here for it.
He grew roots on that place, man.
We filmed, I think that year was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Or Friday and Saturday.
Just Friday and Saturday because everything.
So there was a local club tournament Saturday morning at the same ramp that we put in, and they launched before we did because we had to wait for shooting light for the camera purposes, right? So I was, hey man, you sure we don't have a backup plan? Because these local guys are going to be the same place we were. We come around the corner. We'll be all right. Come around the corner. Sure enough, there's an ABA boat in there already, and there's 2 local boats. And I'm thinking, well, this shot is blown. Let's go somewhere else. Nope. Goes down there, comes off plane, idles in, jumps up on the trolling motor, turns around, backs right in between 2 boats. Like I'm talking, I could have peed off the side of the boat onto the end of the other dude's live well. And I was like, this is nowhere near what I thought a tournament. That was my first major tournament.
Yeah.
I had only fished kayak tournaments before that. And when I'm kayak fishing, I have, not kidding you, gone entire tournament day, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and not seeing another kayak.
Mm.
And here we are fishing with 4 boats in a cove that's 50 yards wide.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. That's why, so the story is Tiger gets the first fish on. He's like, fish on.
Oh, yeah, on day 1. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Get the
got a
net.
little sidetrack.
And he's like, okay.
First of all, I'm on the back of the boat, and I got bumped. And I even said, hey, something just hit me. Give me a second. I think I feel something. And I hesitated for about 30 seconds. And I couldn't quite. It was a real subtle bite down there. Once I figured out, we started tearing him up, right? He yells from the front, fish on, fish on. I look over my shoulder. His rod has the tiniest little bend in it. I'm like, all right, he's got a dink. Cool. And I go back to paying attention to my line. I said, fish on. Like, I heard you. Get the net, get the net, get the net. I'm like, what in the world is freaking? I'm in my head, I'm thinking,
Eddie, he said
that's not a net fish, man. That's a little fish.
He said that so loud. Me and my partner heard it from that point we were on, man. I started laughing.
I reach over.
This is all a candid, by the way, Thomas.
I start leaning towards him with it. I'm thinking he wants me to hand him the net so he can net his fish. Dude, he starts chewing on me like I work for him. I'm like, hold up now. This ain't no, we're not playing this game.
You pulled that chief rank. You pulled that chief rank, didn't you?
And so
that's our major.
I had one of my brand new. I brought my own reels to that competition. Yeah. They provided loose reels, right? I brought my own because I do left-hand retrieve. I'm the only one that was in the show that fished properly. I'm right-handed.
Properly.
Yes, I'm right-handed. So I cast my right arm. I retrieve with my left hand.
I gotcha.
So everybody else is just casting switch hands, whatever. It's weird, but whatever. Another place, another podcast. But he's just like snapping and chewing about this dang net. And I net this fish, and it's like 3/4 of a pound, maybe, including his weight that's on it there. And I'm looking at him like, why did I stop fishing to come net this? He said, you gotta put your rod down. I was like, I was using a $400 combo. And I was actively getting bites on my worm. I'm not donating a $400 combo to the lake. Yeah. Anyways, we had a little bit of an off-camera disagreement. we come to some terms.
Had a little heart to heart with that sergeant major.
No, it's like we were both heated, right? I'm not gonna talk bad about the guy, great fisherman. He definitely put us on a fish, and then I put fish. Like I think day 1 I had 3 of our 5. Day 2 he had 3 of the 5, and day 3 I had 3 of the 5. Like we were pretty matched up as far as putting the winning fish in the boat. You know, we had 19, 16, and 15 pounds through 2 rounds. 20 minutes go by, silence. The cameraman's like trying to prompt us into talking because we're both pissed at each other.
God, I remember those.
Right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he turned around and he's like, "You said you're a kayak fisherman, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." You know, I'm still mad. He goes, "Oh, so y'all like net your own fish. Like you're not used to." I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." Yeah.
It took you 20 minutes to process, man. That's what happened.
I was like, "Come on, man," because we had already spent a considerable amount of time talking about, I'm an active kayak fisherman. Like, because you're on your own. You're one and done in a kayak. You're doing,
Hey man, he was in the moment, man. He was in the moment.
He got excited. You know, there were some, there were emotions flying on both sides of that equation. But I texted when we were watching the championship round together. I texted him and said, when it finally revealed at the top, I texted him and said, "Congrats, champ." And he's like, "Thanks, you too." And then we fished again together last year in Florida.
Yeah.
Like it was, our rematch pairing. Made it to the semifinals, but didn't go past that. But it was a good time. Like there were no hard feelings between us.
Yeah, Tiger's a good dude. Really good dude.
Works his butt off for the organization.
Yeah, he does. He's
better program.
I tell you, I mean, Sean saw me a lot, but and senior over there, but Taggart, when I worked that booth with him and actually working the computer system and tailoring stuff, I mean, I could sell. That's easy, but actually working how to do everything.
Yeah, he's
how organized he is.
I would say he's very organized. He has a system.
Why do you think we call him the sergeant major? Because he's anal retentive like a sergeant major. Now you know.
Yeah, he likes it. He has it set up. He has it proven a successful method and model.
That man goes home and does layouts after every show, man. He lays out everything, accounts it, inventories it, puts it back in, dress right dress. Every show.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Hey, when I'm at the shows, I just want to start randomly picking up things and moving it around and watching it spaz out.
We definitely can't put it on the podcast, but the descriptive phrases that I use for people who work a show before me when we're unloading and trying to set up a new show.
Yeah.
Who put this stuff away last time? Like, man.
Oh,
here we go. No, let's not go into that one.
We go down to McAllen, Andy.
Oh, God.
I'll open up the trailer. Granted, we have boxes of frog togs that got delivered. Boxes. Like freaking 600 pounds of frog tog stuff got delivered to my house. I have to find room to shove it in this trailer. Okay?
There was plenty of room. I don't know what he's talking about.
No. We find room, right? We get it shoved in there. Me and Justin Snow did. Go down to McAllen, have a great time down there, come back. Trailer sitting in my house, get ready to go to Houston. Now, granted, when we loaded everything back up, we put everything nice and neat, dress right dress, okay? It all fit in there, perfect little spaces and stuff like that. I leave out going to Houston. When I walk out my front door, there's a flat tire, okay? I take this flat tire off. I'll go down to Devine, get it changed out, come back to my house, put the tire back on. I start driving down the road. Didn't get 10 miles. I hear like an IED explosion. I'm having a freak out, right? I look in my rearview mirror. I see smoke and rubber going everywhere. This was the opposite side tire, mind you. So I limped this trailer over to the tire shop, changed the tire out, and the guy's like, "Hey, man, that tire's about to go too."
Is it a dual axle?
It's a dual axle. Okay. So I changed the other tire out. So now there's 3 tires, brand new tires on this trailer that's loaded. I mean, it's on the leaf springs, bro. I mean, they did. I mean, senior Sean don't PMC us the same much. Okay.
Oh yeah, we do.
So anyway, I'm driving. Then I drive out. I get outside of Devine, and then my truck runs hot. Granted, I'll tell everybody, hey, my truck's deleted. All right, it's a badass truck. My EGR bypass hose popped. So now it's an aftermarket part. So I'm trying to find any kind of hose that fits this thing. It takes me 2 hours later. God or somebody's telling me not to go to Houston. Get this thing back on there. I'll drive to Houston. I get a call from my buddy that happens to be on I-10 going to Houston. He's like, "Hey, bro, every time you hit a bump, there's white smoke coming out." So now instead of going 75, I'm going like 60. And these guys are sitting here waiting on me. I finally get there, tell them about the tire, me and Sean settle up and stuff. Drop the ramp on the trailer, boxes all shifted. There's stuff falling over and everything. They're making fun of me and Thomas.
Strapped down.
Nothing strapped
They're
down.
making fun of me and Thomas. Did y'all put this thing back in everybody? I was like, where's the load plan? You know, I mean, everything was dress
So-
like dress.
We are miles ahead as of Skeeter Owners Tournament.
Wait,
months
wait.
ago than
Yeah,
what we
we
used to
are.
be.
We are. And the trailer now has new leaf springs and new panels on it. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
3,500-pound axles, now 7,500-pound axles.
Hey, I called Senior last week because now we live like 10 miles apart. You know, I'm calling him, hey, what y'all doing? He's like, well, we're getting leaf springs put on the trailer today. And you had a post about the panels. And
Yeah.
stuff out. My first question was, why are you posting about being out in the Texas sun doing all this work, getting skin cancer and heat stroke and all that? If Senior has a gigantic garage warehouse shop in
Pull
his
it in there.
10 feet away from where you're getting heat stroke.
We were only supposed to do one side. We were going to do the next side the next week. Not the leaf spring. Somebody did the leaf spring, but we were going to do the panel. And then I'm like, I come out and he done move the ladder. It's like one of those things. He done move the ladder to the other side. What am I going to tell it? No.
It's hot.
I'm going to tell.
And he's got a concrete driveway.
I'm like,
Concrete driveway.
and like, I'm
Out
on
there
the
just
ladder. I'm on the ladder getting cramps in my leg trying, cause you gotta, cause you get up there on top of the panel and you gotta drill,
Yeah.
there's 3 rows of that you gotta drill into all the way.
Self-inflicted pain and
Oh, my.
punishment, man.
Well, you saw us when we got to Fort Worth, and after we unloaded in Fort Worth, I was smoked.
Yeah.
From the day prior, and Senior went to bed at 8:00. Remember
Yep.
that night? But yeah, we are driving. But
We
we
go to hang out at the Airbnb. He goes, nope, I'm going to bed.
yeah, but we are drastically improved because we got everything roll on, roll off
Yes,
from the
this
Skeeters
is-
owners tournament. I mean, Skeeters we had this first time we rolled out, and
It was my first.
Shippy did it,
yeah,
right?
George
Yeah,
Shippey
George
did
Shippey
it. George
built these.
Shippey built the setup.
I mean,
for
it made it drastically different.
Yeah.
It was good.
Storage. They got the whatever these holed things in the front. are called.
Pegboard.
Yeah,
Pegboard.
pegboard, yeah.
Pegboard
Hey,
panels.
Chief, it's pegboards, man.
Yeah.
I know you're not used to that term in the
It
Navy.
literally takes us about 20 minutes.
Oh, there's a lot of pegging in the Navy.
Oh,
Pegboarding in the Navy.
I can't.
HR.
Oh, dang it. There we go again.
Best podcast ever right now. I love it. Love it.
But
Yeah.
my first exposure to the unload and load up plan was Fishing for Freedom last year. in
Yeah.
Delta.
Man, yeah.
And we had the entire pro staff out there trying to load this trailer at the end of that show. And probably 70% of our boxes
Yeah,
were
broken.
broken and bashed and ripped
Yeah.
and collapsed. And I'm thinking that was when I got my last conversation, my final interview to come on pro staff.
Yeah.
Was at that. And then my first task is we did the banquet and we load this trailer, and I'm like, what in the world am I getting into? This is crazy because all the other events I'd been to, for one reason or another, I wasn't there
For loadout.
because I was still active duty. I wasn't there for the loadout after we got done. And I didn't know how chaotic and messy that
Oh.
trailer was.
That BB gun range, man.
Woo-wee.
never mind that. The fish tank down at Odessa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We did that with 3 people.
Yeah. Oh, God, that was a pain in the butt.
Remember the rodeo, Sean? We used to do the
I
rodeo here.
never did a rodeo, but I know it was a pain.
Me and Senior by ourselves.
The rodeo here.
Yeah.
I used to do
You used to do the rodeo here in San Antonio?
But a lot of it was we had to change because we changed what we do for the trailer and how we
Yep.
The key component is we're a learning organization. So as we change and develop and we take on new products, we had to change the way we do load plan, just like everything we've done in our military career. And that was part of like figuring out, we'd already kind of going towards that. What we're doing now, one side of the trailer, it's like, okay, let's figure out what makes the most sense, where we're going, where we're headed at.
So a few minutes ago, we invited more task force members to come
Yeah.
help us at these shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want y'all to think that this is an absolute crapshoot.
Nah.
Like the system we have now, you can absolutely run a show with 2 people.
So Andy, it's like what we learned in the military, man. You have a little bit of a suck, right? You endure the suck, but you remember it and you have fun with it and you laugh
Yeah.
about it. Man, there's so much trash talking, so much laughing
Oh.
going on when we're loading up or unloading.
Oh, man,
Oh.
we were eating Justin up last week at loading up. Everything he touched,
Yeah.
and even stuff he wasn't touching, we were chewing on him. Come on, Justin.
But
Just a good,
I'm not even
he's
messing
a
with
good
that,
sport about it too,
yeah.
man. He just takes it.
But
Yeah.
you are right, because when you got here yesterday, me and Senior had most of the booth set up.
Yep.
Just the shoes were
And
about
y'all
the
only were here a little bit before I got here.
Yeah, we had, and we're just 2 people. We had unloaded and had most of the booth set up.
You
but-
can absolutely do this
With the-
entire load,
Yeah.
unload setup or load a pack out when you leave.
We actually found,
The hardest part of this would be the
yeah,
gun.
and we actually found it was actually easier. when we've done some, it was 2 people because we didn't have so many people getting in our way. But it helps now that we have the plan. We can kind of direct and all that. Because when we've done it with less people, we've had access to the trailer. But like tomorrow when we load out, one of us has to go get the trailer and stay with the truck and have it staged ready to like be able to pull in.
Maybe they'll let us pull up this door right here. There's a roll-up door right beside us.
Usually here you got to come through that and right there and pull around.
Either way, that's the way I came in was through that one.
Last year was right there.
Yeah.
That's the way I came in when we unloaded right there. So hopefully we'll be able to come in right through there and pull right here and load up and be able to, because these things, what's going to happen, these will go out first, and then we'll be able to get right through in there. But that's kind
of. We did learn last weekend that these rolling carts that George made are awesome, but will not fit through a standard door.
No, they do not fit through a standard door.
We were about to push them out the door in Fort Worth and load up on the street right next to our booth, and they wouldn't fit. They were like an inch and a half too wide.
And he said next year that they'll have those bars out.
Oh, okay.
So I told him
to cut out bring out a sawzall.
Yeah,
cut
they said.
the bars.
I told him today. I said, y'all. We couldn't. Those bars weren't out, and it made it hard. But they have a plan for next year. So like even the event people, so kind of from there. Well, hey guys, I know it's we have a lot of fun at these. We're getting ready to close it down for the night. And I love doing these on the road. I think it's only the second one we've ever done at the booth, and so I think I love the unplanned, unscheduled podcast because you never know what we talk. We talked about from task force members to being here to what it's like, just how we can kind of rib each other to what it's like to have family, being a good military organization to
Navy seamen. Wow.
We're gonna
take board in the Navy. What's our next show?
We're actually headed to Woodward, Oklahoma next week. And
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, and we just got told that we're most likely going to do the Tennessee Valley show in Huntsville, Alabama, and I think it's the 12th, 13th, 11th, 12th, and 13th of September, or 12th, 13th, and 14th of September. Same weekend as that.
Same as the banquet.
Yeah, the Folds of Honor banquet. So that'll take place in September. But we're always on the road doing stuff and enjoying what we're doing, meeting a lot of people out there. And the cool thing about being that one in Alabama is there'll be a different crew, different set of people that kind of meet for that. So it's always fun with that. So a lot of fun stuff. We got to meet with Skeeter this week and go to the Skeeter factory and Chris Brown and those guys over there. So a lot of fun stuff on the horizon. Working towards Fishing for Freedom event at Belton. It's going to take.
I was about to say, look out for registration.
Yeah, that's going to
August 27th. Registration.
27.
Yeah, it
opens.
Registration opens.
Yeah,
get signed up for Fishing Freedom. You know your buddies that have boats. Get them to sign up.
And we're going to officially announce this year. We have a new Fishing for Freedom website. We're really for the Army Bass Singer Foundation, which is armybassingerfoundation.org. So that is the official website. We'll go ahead and post that on social media, and that's where we will be where the registration is. And so we're gonna have that on there, and it'll be all part of that. But yeah, a lot of good things going on. Hey, we appreciate you guys listening. If you want to know more about Army Buck, Duck, Hog, or Redfish, go to our social media pages, and we appreciate you guys' support.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Force on Force podcast. Join us next time as we dive into more topics from the Force on Force talk. For more information or to learn how to join the organization, visit our website at forceonforcetv.com.